Welcome to the Put on Waivers Media Group, home of the Put on Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
And welcome, everybody, to another glorious episode of the Student Body Right USC podcast. I am your host, Dwayne Douglas, and I am podcasting off the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. Please, PORSBR is my Twitter handle. And then, of course, you can always rate, review, and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or anywhere podcasts are available. And don't forget to hit that like button and also notifications. Leave something in the comments as well. We love those comments. That helps to grow the show as well. So USC had one of their early practices. Can I kind of go quickly through that a little bit, a little portion of it, and talk about what they said and as they talked to the media. Offensive line looks like Josh Henson talked about the offensive line and talked about Jarrett Kingston. They kind of they talked about kicking him into the inside. They kind of view that would be a smart play for them, putting him on the inside, making him a guard, because he kind of, when you look at his measurements, look at who he is, he kind of measures out to be a guard in the National Football League. They talk about that at USC a lot. Like, what is he going to be at the next level? And let's put him there. So Henson is going to do his job as far as putting him in the right spot to be successful. Also, Ethan White, this whole Jonah Mahan, and then Michael Tarquin talked to the media, and it's all about getting acclimated at this time of year, right? To make sure that what Lincoln Riley wants to do offensively, they can handle it and they can get a quick understanding of what is going to be expected of them to help this team win a national championship. And the offensive line talent is there. They talked about maybe adding some more offensive line talent. So they're not done. I think when the portal opens up back again, they will be able to kind of dig, get those shovels and dig in there and hopefully get some more talent there as well. I think the unit looks really solid, but you never can have it and never have too many good offensive linemen, as you saw last year. If they were that championship game against Utah, they just got hit. They got hit with a Caleb Williams injury. They got hit with offensive line injury. I mean, it was a tough situation for them. And I don't think they want that. They don't want a repeat of that. They don't want to see that happen. They don't want to see that happen again. So you do have some depth with Cooper Lovelace and company, people like that, but you want to get as many good offensive linemen as you can, because they did have some they got some players leaving to go to the National Football League. Obviously, one of the most exciting pieces of the puzzle here is what will they do?
So can the defense create that kind of play?
Situation,
and as we say
and
that,
you look at Mason,
they do. Gentry,
Bijan Davis, Shane Lee, Eric Gentry, and of course Tackett Curtis. Like Tackett Curtis, people love some Tackett Curtis. So I know they fill up our question queue here on the show with a lot of Tackett Curtis questions, and the guy looks to be the build. He looks to be, just fantastic as far as that goes. So we'll see if that kind of all that hype comes into play with USC on the defensive side. Everybody who knows this show and knows me, I'm not a big, Alex Grinch fan. I mean, and we'll talk about that in our next video about Alex Grinch, but I'm not a big Alex Grinch fan. Don't like what he does with the defensive linemen at times, but we'll see what happens there. I'm not gonna go in. I'm not gonna go jump into that boat right now. We have a lot of time left, but he does have an opportunity. He has some really live bodies. As they, came in, kind of took the walk, that walk where they walk across the street and touch the sword before they go over and go to practice. Visibly, this team looks better. I mean, everybody who's at practice, media members who are at practice, talked about the size, everybody definitely looked like they are ready to go as far as physically, just looking more imposing than they have in the past, and especially last year. So last year, a lot of things were just kind of they didn't throw it together, but they did their best to kind of field a really good team because he took over. Lincoln Riley took over. It was transfer portal. They had to do whatever they can just to kind of make kind of a makeshift defensive unit. They did what they could as far as that goes. But the guys you see on defense coming in now, they look physically imposing. They look like a real, closer to what we have seen from a USU with some of the great USC teams in the past. And I wouldn't say they're the wild bunch, but they're hopefully trending toward that. Um, and I give Mason Cobb a lot of credit. I mean, when he talked to the media, he didn't hold back about the missed tackles and the missed plays. I mean, and the opportunities that they had defensively because let's face it, he's in the locker room with some of those guys who were missing tackles. He's in the locker room with some of those guys who are not, who didn't play up to snuff in this defense. So to be able to have that courage to be like, hey, listen, it wasn't good enough. Obviously, I mean, you can make the comment that if it was good enough, would Mason Cobby be on the USC Trojans right now? Probably wouldn't be. Probably wouldn't be. So, think about those things as well. One thing that I know people are excited about is defensively, number 0. We have and why am I slipping? Why am I Corey Foreman? I'm sorry, I'm slipping Corey Foreman's name out of my head. But Corey Foreman is going to play with his hand in the ground and going after the quarterback. Duh. I mean, why did it take so long for that to happen? I mean, the guy has bend, the guy has quickness. Let him do. I know he has the old man setup as far as the shoulder pads go, but he has that quickness. He has all those things. Why would you not have Corey Foreman rushing the passer consistently? Like that's just kind of like a common sense approach to get your best athletes who have bend. I mean, I would have loved to see him on one side and and Thule on the other side last year, and let's see on 3rd and long, see those guys go after the quarterback. If you're going to rush 4 and not blitz. I mean, that's what you really need to do defensively. It's good to see that USC is kind of going towards that direction and saying, Corey Foreman, hey, I don't care about the national, best player in the world, the best player in college football, best player in high school, stuff he used to get in the past. Like, we all know that rating was there. That's fine. Okay, great. But can Corey Foreman go get the quarterback? Let's see him do that for a season. Let me see Corey Foreman go after the quarterback for a season because obviously the guy is a tremendous athlete. And I don't want to see him in coverage dropping. I don't want to see him doing all those things. And I understand the interception against UCLA to kind of ice that game. And it was great to see everybody ring the bell and the whole crowd go crazy at the Rose Bowl on that in that road game against the Bruins. But at the end of the day, like you can't have that. You gotta have that. That's a once in a lifetime pick. What could have happened is he could have been chasing DTR around a little bit better if he was allowed to go rush the passer. And there's going to be times where defensive ends lose. Offensive linemen are huge individuals, and it's almost impossible to get by them. Like, I mean, those guys have long arms. That's why when you see the NFL draft and everything like that, they want to see how long your arms are, the reach to keep those defenders away. And that's cool. We know that's going to happen. But there's going to be times where those spin moves that bend around the offensive lineman is going to work, and you're going to get a strip sack. You're going to get a turnover there. And it's good to see a guy like Corey Foreman start to do those things because they need pass rush on 3rd down. They desperately need pass rush on 3rd down. You can't have a good defense without having 3rd and long and have a quality pass rush. And last year there was a lot of times where they had third and long, but didn't do a good job as far as the pass rush goes as well. So obviously, spring game coming up. After these short practices, the players will go on spring break. They'll come back and then get go at it again. But this is going to be the Student Body Right USC podcast. We're going to hit you up every day, and not every day, every other day. With some 10-minute videos, some quick points about spring practice and the team, and then we'll do a big show at the end of the week. So. USC Student Body Right podcast. Thank you for your support, and don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Leave a comment, a like, a dislike. Let me know about maybe another topic with USC you want to talk about as we get ready for the season and the spring game coming up in April.